This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on India Water Impact Summit, Restoration and Conservation of Small Rivers in a Large Basin. The participants are A.B. Pandya, former Chairman, Central Water Commission, and Sanjay Jha, journalist.
River restoration has become important. People have come to realize that alteration of hydrology, water chemistry, and biology of river has unintended consequences in urban and other areas. And in this connection, there is a need for more awareness about water. Now we are having India Water Summit, which had started on December 15th. And it's going to deliberate about restoration and conservation of the small rivers in the large basin. Professor Pandya, what is the importance and significance of this summit?
This summit is a very important step in the right direction. With this summit, we will be able to debate various issues that are being encountered in a landmark program of Clean Ganga. And for that, there are various aspects that has to be considered, like what are the kind of interventions that are required, how the plans have to be made, under what consideration, and how whatever plans we make can be put in action by providing proper finance, and how people can be involved so that these plans eventually become successful. So for this purpose, this summit is a very good step where various stakeholders can meet together and discuss.
This summit has been organized with a special emphasis on the select aspects of mapping and convergence of 5 Ps: people, policy, plan, program, and project. So what is going to be discussed by the experts which will be assembled at this meeting from India and abroad? What is this 5P and how is that important for river restoration?
Science lies at base of any intervention because it provides us with a solution to the problems that we are encountering. And for that, what are the new technologies that are required and how those technologies can be made to be successful by creating appropriate conditions? That is the role of science. And then once science provides us with the solution, then how to put them in action is coming through the planning. Delineate how the entire activity will be handled, who will do what and how. And then the finances will come in when we start implementing those solutions. And at the end of the day, when we provide a solution and when we provide a plan, then the community will have to react to it and community will have to adopt it. If community does not adopt a solution, then the plans, based-laid plans with proper scientific background may also fail. So all these aspects are one for a successful implementation of a ambitious program like the Namami Ganga.
We have seen, India is a country of rivers and small rivers. But sadly, what we have seen is the small rivers are facing near extinctions in large river basins. How can we protect that? What we need to do for the common man so that they can start realizing the importance of saving these small rivers?
Common man has a very big role to play for the small river because most of the people interact with these small rivers in a very, very intense kind of way. Number 2 is that the small rivers have lesser resilience by virtue of they having small catchments, lesser yields. So their vulnerability is higher. And for that, we need to have the participation in seeing that how they are able to maintain the quality of the river water. You take the case of many of the rivers, like say, for example, Hendon River nearby Delhi. And you realize that if the community does not help, the quality of water in the river keeps on deteriorating. So there's the issue of community responding to the needs of the river becomes very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Secondly, the local bodies are also basically the community-based organizations. And local bodies are the ones who are interested in maintaining the effluents and maintaining the quality in the input as well as the output facility.
Professor Pandya, there are deliberations about climate change around the world. We have just seen COP26, which was organized in Egypt to discuss about the climate change impact on the world. So these deliberations are going on. But the deliberation on issues of water and rivers is equivalent to discussing the future of human beings and crises facing them. And in that case, India has a very important role because a large population in India are dependent on water for their economic survival, for their life. Almost one-third of the population is dependent for their survival on river Ganges. And we have seen the government of India has launched Namami Gange mission to preserve, to conserve the rivers in last 7 years, and which has been a commendable job. Prime Minister Modi has personally taken initiative into it, and Namami Gange has become kind of mass movement, and people from all walks of life are contributing in their own way to cause. How significant are these kind of movements to, conserve the rivers in the country?
Significance of climate change is underlying every effort of water management. Unless we understand the effects of climate change, our plans cannot become successful. So we need to understand and integrate the effects of climate change into all our plans and all our finances. Namami Gange is also no exception. Ganga Basin is a very large basin having very large agroclimatic conditions across the basin. And for that, such a diverse basin has to be managed. And in the context of climate change, the flow variabilities may increase. The quality issues may also have an inverse relation with the availability of the flow. So those issues will have to be addressed under the Namami Gange program.
Rivers have a special status in India, and they're treated like a mother. And India has a rich tradition of revering and respecting mothers. We have seen the concepts of Art Ganga that primarily means establishing people-river connect through the bridge of economy. So how this concept can be expanded more, can be told more to the common people so that more and more people start realizing the importance of saving the small rivers.
People do visualize river as a mother, and because they realize a river as a mother, so they have a tendency to take from the mother. But then this realization will have to be extended to the fact that mother also needs care, and that care has to be provided by the children. So one who is dependent upon the river will have to bear the responsibility of maintaining that river. And this is the crux of the issue about the community participation and managing the water quality in that river. At present, we have a tendency that we are taking a lot of resources from the river, especially in the form of water, because we are heavily dependent upon water as an economic and livelihood sustenance formation. But we are not putting adequate attention to the fact that the river water will have to be returned to the river in a manner that you have taken in the same level of quality. And for that, some amount of additional efforts will have to be done. Economy does come in picture because this part of the work actually requires some additional finances which may have to be supported through your income model. So the economic model will have to have a consideration for these kind of efforts.
We have also seen the infrastructure being created towards the rejuvenation of river Ganga and also around its tributaries, which has a positive result in saving the climate for a steady flow of the water in these rivers. And these efforts have been globally recognized. So how much this India Water Impact Summit will strengthen as India's role as a global leader and would benefit for informed decision making?
The India Water Summit will be able to provide a forum where a multidisciplinary crisis can come and discuss. There who will be experts in various individual disciplines. But then it is very much necessary that these people interact with each other so that they are able to understand the limitations and the opportunities that exist, wherein their own sector can provide. So these kind of subjects also help in generating the collaborative efforts and generating the holistic solutions for the water quality problems and water management problems.
One thing which has emerged in the recent time when we talk about and deliberate about the climate change, talk about the entire ecosystem of rivers in India. And now this summit is going to deliberate upon the important aspects of all river restoration projects. And different institutions, government bodies, private individuals, they all have to come together towards river rejuvenation. What do you think about the ongoing schemes of river rejuvenation, not just a small, but overall our river rejuvenation schemes in India?
Namami Gange is one of the main plans. Apart from that, we have got Atal Bhujal Yojana, which is also looking at the water quality aspects of groundwater. Then we also have this Nal Se Jal program, where again we are looking at the assured quality water delivery mechanism. And we also have Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchay Yojana, which also looks at efficient use of water and optimum use of water. So all these programs have an impact on the water management strategies that future will be needing and future generations will be able to benefit from.
When we talk about public participation in rivers, then it is very important to involve people at all levels. And we have seen how the district Ganga committees have become an important institution for coordinating various activities for rejuvenating the rivers, especially small rivers. And do you think this summit can provide suitable technological models for implementing various activities by leveraging financial resources from various schemes?
Yes, definitely. Actually, there is very wide variety of problems are existing. You basically need a bouquet of solutions and then experience in finding the right solution for the conditions that are existing in the local context. So the summit will provide the exposition of various problems that are being encountered by the people, and then simultaneously there will be people from the technology and from the science side who can understand these problems and then suggest what kind of solutions can be provided. So these interactions through the summit will be very, very valuable and very useful for success of the program.
And what kind of participation are we witnessing in this summit? There are many foreign partners who have come. So when we talk about technology and the financial institutions, investors, so how is this conference going to bring all of them together for initiatives for river restoration and protection?
International participation is definitely useful because when we are tackling a very large problem, we should be open to the experiences that have already happened at various parts of the world. For example, the European framework on water, the European Union approach to the water quality that government shared. These are very useful experiences that need to integrate. And it is always better to look at the existing solutions which are successful rather than trying to reinvent the wheel or trying to find the solutions. So that purpose, the international participation, there are various facets which various countries are doing. And we have a combination of various factors in our country. Our agroclimatic conditions start from alpine and go all the way to desertic. So for various areas, whatever solutions are there internationally, we should try to evaluate them and we should try to then integrate them as far as possible in our action program.
Once again, I would like to come back about this. The Prime Minister's vision about water security in India, because everywhere people are talking about the water crisis, and because of climate change, it is becoming even bad. How these initiatives of restoring and observing small rivers in large basins and emphasizing on important aspects of a small river system will ensure that India does not have the same problem which many of the countries around the world are facing for the water supply.
Well, climate change, as I said earlier also, is an underlying issue that will have to be addressed in every facet of water management. The water security comes from ensuring the different facets of water management. That means the quality, the quantity, and the timeliness of the availability of those quantities in bulk, and then the resilient network for supplying those quantities in an appropriate manner to various beneficiaries. So all these aspects holistically form the water security problem. And in each of these, the climate change has an impact, and we will have to account for those impacts in our plans and in our solutions. So this program will definitely benefit from an understanding of the possible climate change effects and then how we can take care of them. Especially in small rivers, the resilience of those water resources systems to the climate change is very poor. So there the integration of these aspects and the climate change understanding will help a lot in finding the sustainable.
Yeah, let's hope that the deliberations which would come up from the summit with recommendations to help forming a framework for restoring small rivers in the country, and also let's hope that this would serve as a toolkit for states, district administration and various ministries which can help restore the country's river ecosystem. Thank you very much for your time, Professor Pandya.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on India Water Impact Summit, Restoration and Conservation of Small Rivers in a Large Basin. The participants were A.P. Pandya, former chairman, Central Water Commission, and Sanjay Jha, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsttalks@gmail.com.